This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, you're encouraged to like and share them on Facebook because it's time for Joanne's World of Nutrition, brought to you by Nutrition World in Fort Pierce and hosted by... You ready? Joanne Seeger!
I wasn't sure if that was a trick question. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday.
I prepped the audience before the show about the Seeger part.
Oh, nice. Very good. You do an awesome job. Thank you so much. Yeah, gosh, you're pretty much, other than a few guests here in the studio with me, you've always been my engineer. So you've done a great job.
I'm the Choo-Choo Charlie of the nutrition world.
There you go. And I love how you engage in every conversation. It's so awesome. And we need you as our expert counter for the next thing. So thank you for listening. If you're new to the show, welcome. I really appreciate you spending some time with me this morning. We begin every show with a breathing exercise to help us focus, calm our day down, help us recenter, and also maybe if you have a touch of high blood pressure, anxiety, feel a little scattered, it'll help bring you back to balance.
And if you're out of breath all the time because you're busy,
rushing around in traffic, or you feel like you're just burning the candle at both ends,
we're going to help you, right?
We're going to help you. So the first step is take a deep exhale to get the drama out of your body. And then we're going to count for 5 and breathe in through our nose, hold for 5, and exhale for 5. Only using our nose, okay, everybody?
Okay, you ready?
So let's exhale.
How many times do we want to do it?
How about 3?
Oh,
I'm in the mood for 3.
3 is a good number. If it only takes a minute, you got a minute, you're going to feel better in just a
I really want everyone to participate, okay? Here we go.
Don't close your eyes doing this if you're driving. Okay.
Good advice,
all right,
good advice.
All right, let's breathe it all out. Let it all out. Okay, let's start the inhale process slowly through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, again, inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feel better?
Thank you, Cliff. That was awesome. I definitely feel better every time. And I really wish for all my listeners to partake in that as often as they can throughout the day. Proven with a study that deep breathing vamps up your immune system, helps lower blood pressure, helps you get control of your moods. And I don't know about you guys, but I am faced with those challenges every day, as well as most of my customers, if not all. So breathing free, available to all. So let's start there with wellness. And speaking of wellness, we have a Valentine's special that I announced last week on the show that I'd like to remind everyone. So Valentine's Day, and again, you can use this for yourself if you want to gift yourself some love, or for a significant other or a friend or family or neighbor. So our Ion Foot Detox at the store and our infrared sauna are usually $25 each. The Valentine's Day special is buy one treatment, get the second free. So if you like to come check it out, you can use both treatments at one time if you want. But really, it is a very serious detoxification method. So you might want to choose to split up the sessions if you're just gifting it to yourself. But if you have a loved one, definitely bring them in. Makes you feel really, really good. Give that body a little extra help in the detox process, which we all need just from everyday life. We're all kind of putting a toxic burden, which later in the show, I'm going to talk about what's hot and exciting right now that can help your body get stronger and help it focus more on detoxification instead of getting sicker, getting better and stronger. So today is that kind of show that if you've ever thought about calling in but you didn't think your question might have applied, today is the show to call. So 340-1590. You can call with any questions to do with health or wellness, okay? It all will apply. Trust me. I would love to hear from my listeners. And then another announcement is for Dr. Ravi. I am super excited about going to his seminar this Saturday at 10:30 to 12:30, and that's on Tradition Parkway in Port St. Lucie. So he is going to be really talking about the new year. Again, new year, new body, new you. Really, I think a lot of us have already lost focus on our goals and what we really set out for this year. So why don't we get all reset? But he has just a few seats left. I was there at his office last night, and I couldn't believe he had like 4 pages of sign-ups. And it's at the ACOC Tradition, which is a huge celebration center, brand new, beautiful, and it's really big. So he puts on a great seminar, little snacks and gift prizes, raffles. So if you are interested, just look it up online. Tradition Family Chiropractic Max Living Seminar this Saturday, 10:30 to 12:30. You need any more info, call my store, 464-3598. All right, so today's topic is, again, what a lot of people are confused about and excited about, and I'm going to try to put clarification on some of those topics. The first one, which is, again, all over social media, is moringa. So moringa powder has had a couple high points in the supplement industry, and then all of a sudden disappears for a while. When it comes to any superfood, a superfood is classified by something that in the region it is grown in, the place that the bush, the tree, the plant, the root, the nut, the seed originated from, the area around it showed that these people were getting more than normal health benefits, other than like as if they were eating an apple or a bowl of salad. Their families or the environment around them would traditionally use this product or crop for something miraculous. All the children in the village would take this if they were getting a cold, and the cold would disappear. So it starts with stories like that, and then the stories turn into, a little bit of anecdotal medicine, and it gets to be where by the time it gets to the consumer, it's greatly exaggerated. And the problem then is consumerism comes into play, where companies, if they decide to invest in harvesting this crop or owning this field, they need to make as much money per acre as they can, which makes sense. Well, then they sell it. It does well. Well, other people want to get a part of the business. So they say, well, I'll just plant some moringa trees here, or I'll just plant them there. Well, it's a whole different story. Whenever you take it's like Mother Nature knew what she was doing. So whenever you take any plant and you put it or try to grow it in a different region, all of a sudden it's different soil. So you might not have the same nutrients as its original soil. It also is up against different elements, like maybe different weather patterns. Now all of a sudden the neighborhood guy who's spraying all these white gases of mosquito spray or pesticides, or all of a sudden now that's on your trees and bushes. So I just want you to really understand that not all superfoods like moringa are created equal. So know your origin, know where your products are coming from. It's very easy to make products, or I should say crops, plants, fruits, vegetables, things look the same to your eye. Like it has all the leaves it's supposed to have, it's the color it's supposed to have, but it doesn't mean it has that magical nutrient content of that superfood's original study amount, because our soil is what is dependent on, and there is ways to trick the plant where it will grow, whether it's hybrid, genetically modified. So it looks the same, but please understand it's not the same. So when you're buying any superfoods, anything that is claiming miraculous cures, it might not work if you do not get it from the right, or I should say the correct source, or an ethical source. You want to get the people that truly started, bringing it in with fair trade. So you have the right people harvesting it that aren't getting misled and abused. You want to make sure that, they're not spraying, illegal pesticides and herbicides on their crops that will hurt you so much. And Moringa, like, I carry a brand that I trust. It's called Organic India. Very ethical company, has been around for a long time. So if you take this beautiful dark green powder, it's great in your smoothies, your shakes, sprinkle it on salad. You can really, it is highly alkalizing, highly concentrated in vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, all the things you're looking for. But in nature, there's a lot of great things like that if you go to its true source and you buy organic. So Moringa is just one of the ones I just want to clarify. If you grow it in your backyard here in Florida, which, some people say it will grow, it does not make it the way that the studies show and it originated, just to be clear. The next one, which I must bring up, and I almost swear every time I'm not going to talk about this topic because it seems like that's all I talk about every single day over and over again, but I must, is CBD oil. Look, I got Cliff's attention. All of a sudden, he whipped around. Look at that.
Have you heard the outrage out there about vaping?
Yes.
Because it's the vaping now, you know what I thought?
I'm probably going to be covering this, but go ahead. Let's see if you get a cat out of the bag.
All right. The nicotine vapes, okay? The kids aren't going to be smoking cigarettes if they're vaping. The only good thing about that is, well, that's the bad thing about that, because the cigarette companies aren't going to make any money on the kids anymore. But with the vaping,
that's a good thing.
We're getting a stigmata along with this about phobias and stuff. I think it's in the phobia area.
Well, Cliff, honestly, I think I mentioned this last week.
Yeah.
Whenever you're breathing something into your lungs, there needs to be a carrier. There needs to be, so if it's not burning paper, it's a carrier oil. They're both bad and they're both carcinogenic. And this is where we're being misled. Everyone is now thinking, oh, I'm not burning paper. I must be doing something better. There's a lot of people I know and love that are under that influence. But the problem is not always, but most of the time, they are mixing this substance with, just like they did in the cigarettes and just like they did when they were rolling things, with like a filler or a solvent, something to make that oil not be sticky or clog the vaporizer. It's just like you would to diffuse oils in your home in a diffuser. If you use too thick of an oil, all the tubing gets clogged. It's the same premise.
But like with fried food, oil that's heated up and cooked has its little problems.
Yeah, everything has problems when you take it out of what I call Mother Nature's hands. And my biggest issue with the CBD oil market is just like what I discussed about Moringa. Actually, I have a few really things that are kind of really getting me upset because there is so much money out there now. It's this huge thing because it's real, people. What they say about it is true. It is like a miraculous oil. It does promise the world, and it usually delivers if you're getting the right CBD.
Is there a right CBD that's not carcinogenic?
Yes. Well, that's the problem, is that there's so much corruption in the CBD market now, and there is so much money to be made. So whenever you take a product that is, a huge money maker, everyone gets involved. They have no interest in your health whatsoever. So it's all about who can market themselves, and their internet website looks amazing. Their bottles look amazing. They have a switchboard of operators that call on all these vape shops and all these health food stores and say, hey, you buy 12 of our bottles, you get 12 free. And then all of a sudden,
You find
you
out.
know, people are saying, "Oh, I got my CBD oil for $24.99 at the local gas station." There's a reason behind that great pricing. So
And it ends up being the hemp oil that you'd find in a machine shop
yes,
instead
and
of.
do you know that some of them are actually being honest on their labels, and they do put industrial hemp oil.
Yeah.
So some of them are actually trying to make money, but trying to stay in the gray area because they think that people do not know better, so they don't even look at ingredients, which unfortunately I'm finding this to be true. So, but I know my listeners are not those people.
Right.
So now it's the job of my listeners to tell friends, families, coworkers, neighbors the truth, because everyone seems to be interested in what CBD offer. Why? Because it relieves mood disorders. So depression, anxiety, nervousness, seizures, epilepsy, oh my gosh, the list goes on. But of course, most people, it's about pain because it's probably the world's strongest anti-inflammatory that's known as of this moment. So the best part is that CBD oil is also preventative health care. So even if you're listening and you're like, well, I don't have any pain, or my mood's okay and I can sleep good at night, and well, congrats to you, because it's very rare these days. But the thing is that CBD also is preventative, so you can use it to keep out of that unhealthy zone, keep inflammation in check, keep healthy. It's full of antioxidants. It makes the endocannabinoid system, which is throughout the entire body, happy, and you will live definitely a happy, healthier life, including this. And it has CBD, the true one, the real one, doesn't have any psychoactive reaction with, like is what marijuana with THC.
Right.
But this is one of, so you know when you watch these drug commercials where it says, okay, take this for hypertension or high blood pressure, and then they show people jogging and, you know, they're like looking like the best version of themselves. Of course, they're paid models, but they look so healthy and great. And then the disclaimer comes at the end and says, and this drug may cause, you know, seizure, stroke, and blah,
That's
blah,
a suicide,
blah.
even death.
So, you know, here you're taking it for blood pressure, but you can still get heart disease, seizure, stroke, right?
Yeah.
Well,
They say it real fast,
the
too, so
number
you can't
one
really hear it.
ingredient that manufacturers are using for their CBD oil is propylene glycol. Okay? They can still call it natural because propylene glycol is legal and it is considered safe. Just like a lot of things are considered safe in our world that's killing us, but it has a certain level of safety to it, so they're legally allowed to put in their products. So for instance, if you Google the word, so this is no secret, anyone can do this, Google the word propylene glycol on your smartphone right now. Do you know what images would come up? Cliff, do you have any idea?
I didn't Google it real quick.
Okay, that's okay, because you know what? I'm going to spare you the moment. Antifreeze is going to come up. Why does antifreeze come up? That's pretty much propylene glycol.
I had a neighbor that got rid of my cat.
Oh, using
Yeah,
antifreeze?
he
Oh,
fed
well,
it
that's not
antifreeze.
very nice.
That's
Okay,
not
I have like a
nice.
very horrible picture in my mind
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. This is bad stuff you're talking
Yeah,
about.
okay, so now you go into Home Depot, you go into the cleaning aisle. I can guarantee you that almost all their cleaning solvents, the first ingredient will be propylene glycol.
Wow.
So why would a company that's trying to make you healthy use that as an ingredient? Cha-ching, moolah.
That's moolah.
Propylene glycol is a phenomenal solvent. That's why it gets grease away and cleans everything so nice. But it's inexpensive, you know, and so CBD oil usually needs a certain extraction method to get from all this hemp the CBD. CBD is just one of like almost over 80 components that are in this plant. All the components in the plant are really good for you, other than the people avoiding THC.
The trick is getting the components out of the plant.
Yes.
Right? How
So
they do
like
that.
my companies do it natural without the propylene glycol.
Okay.
But this is where I found it almost laughable. So the reason CBD first became really famous, okay, was for autism and seizures. People were posting pictures of like underground CBD users where, okay, my daughter who's 13, she couldn't go a day without having 3 seizures. We gave her this, it was called Charlotte's Web, and we gave her the CBD oil, and they would videotape how she could walk perfectly, the seizures would stop. It was amazing to watch. Like, you would see people change right in front of your eyes without any medication that had any horrible side effects. Well, do you know what the number 1 side effect of propylene glycol is?
What's that?
Seizures. So this is, and now there's plenty of others: nauseousness, epilepsy, liver failure, kidney failure, blah, blah, blah. Now, it's still all over the place. It's in food. It is in supplement industry. But this is the difference, everyone.
Yep.
If you already have a health condition, especially one that propylene glycol causes, why would you put it under your tongue, which is where you're supposed to put CBD oil, which is a direct link to these receptor sites to help fix you? You're going to do more damage than good. So please, just that alone, get CBD oil that doesn't have fillers and junk in it. It's really hard when I'm selling mine to consumers because here I am selling it. So of course they're like, oh, you're just saying yours is the best. But I waited 2 years and I lost a lot of money by waiting for someone that I actually knew. In all the years I've been in the business, I had to wait to someone that had the right morality, the ethics to source out the right plants. Because just like I mentioned about the moringa, you can grow the hemp seeds in the wrong soil. You can put so much pesticides and antifungals and herbicides on the crop that not only when they compress all that material to extract the CBDs, you're also getting all that pesticides, all the herbicides, all the antifungals into your body, which again is probably the cause of your health conditions to start with. So seek out organic, full spectrum, CO2 extraction, no propylene glycol, no artificial flavors and sweeteners. It does taste like grass and dirt combined. It's not great, but you're taking, maybe 5 to 15 drops here. It's a little bit. It's not worth getting, all these crazy flavors and fillers. It's not worth it. And if you are putting it in through your digestive system and you're swallowing it, they say, okay, a little less of the harmful effect of propylene glycol, but everything we're doing each and every day does add up. It has an effect that's cumulative. So maybe you're just doing a little bit of propylene glycol, but after time, it definitely adds up to another burden that your lungs have, that your liver has, that your kidneys have. So control where you can control. When we're driving, when we're walking along the roadside, where we're breathing in indoor air pollution or dry cleaning solutions, it's very difficult to control those things. They're outside of our control normally. I mean, we can try, but it's still very difficult to control our work environment, our air environment. But at least we can control what we put into our bodies intentionally through supplements. If we're going to spend a good amount of money trying to make us well, please try to control what source you get it from, and just know that this is a very big industry now, and they are making a ton of money. And sometimes people do not have your health in the number 1 priority.
No, they take dangerous shortcuts with products. Wow.
Yeah, it's really a shame. So there's a lot of people now are saying, well, we definitely don't have THC in our product. Well, the only way to really claim that is that you're making a hybrid plant. And that's like another word, like say for a GMO. You take something, it's our soil. Like I know someone that has pretty much spent his entire career just making the right composition soil for hemp plants. That's his whole job, okay? To work with growers to make sure that his soil is rich with nutrients, but no like pesticides, fungicides. So it's beyond organic. It's not just organic when they're not spraying over 300 chemicals, which they're allowed to, okay, on crops. It's also making sure that the soil is nourishing. So you're going to get those amazing cannabinoids and terpenes and antioxidants that the hemp does all the miracle work. You can't expect the miracle work if you're buying from cheap crops that are not grown in the right soil. They're sprayed with all the junk. You're really getting something that will hurt you and not help you. So please know where you're getting your products from, okay? Don't fall for any of the gimmicks. If it's a gummy, if it's a smelly, yummy, smelly vape, if it's all that stuff, it's a gimmick. It's not going to give you wellness. And I have a lot of people that say, well, I did buy the gummies and it did make me feel better. I'm not saying it wouldn't give you the pain relief that CBD is promising, but those other things, again, cumulative bad effect. So if you want to peel the layers of onion, as like healers will call it, and get to the root of why you have the problem in the first place, not only do you have to take the symptom of the pain away, but you have to go deep into the body from the cellular memory, the tissues, the bloodstream, and work out why there's a situation to begin with. I was talking to Matt last night and my son, and there was two conversations that really kind of bothered me, reminded me. I was convinced, with my son, for a reason based out of fear, which I will never fall for this again, when he was about 3 years old, about removing tonsils and adenoids, which is extremely common still to this day. Every little piece of our body that's in when we're born is necessary. Every single little tissue, I don't care how small it is, the appendix, the tonsils, the adenoids, the gallbladder, these things have really, really important roles.
They become routine, quick surgeries to be a quick fix or something.
That's the thing. It's like, oh, it looks like it's not doing well. It's infected, or it's sick, or it's inflamed, or it's puffy.
Right.
Let's just cut it out and get rid of the problem. Wait a sec. Was that organ the problem, or what you were doing to your body and the organ was overwhelmed by the amount of work it had to do? Is that the problem? But, what happens is that, sometimes, if not all the time, medicine has a way of backing us into a corner, making us getting fearful, and we forget it is our body, and we don't take a breath, and we don't go, well, maybe, like, for instance, I'll use my son. I'm going to throw him under the bus.
Uh-oh.
So, I got him better. He had a sore throat. He's working every night. He's taking on responsibilities that he's not used to as a young man. And he got the sore throat. They think that they can stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning on social media and gaming and still have a healthy body. So he got better. And then last night when I saw him, he's like, yeah, Mom, I don't understand. My sore throat is back. I'm like, well, were you doing anything different? Were you doing more late nights? He's like, well, not too bad, but I was eating like boxes of Girl Scout cookies. I'm like, honey, I'm like, so this is not like where I need like this big, huge, fancy medical degree to understand that if all of a sudden you're ingesting, 300 grams of sugar by eating, a box of Girl Scout cookies, that your immune system vamped down and that you became susceptible to the same condition you just got rid of, because that bacteria still hangs around. Those viruses still hang around. It's not like they poof and go away. They're just like, wait, okay, we got balance now. I'm not going to show my symptoms, but it's not like they're still there.
Sugar's not the only thing you got to worry about with cookies. There's sodium.
Oh, God. Well, it's Girl Scout cookies. No offense, because I try to support the cause.
I said cookies. I didn't say Girl Scouts. I said cookies.
Yes, but in sugar in general, that's a problem. It's always linked to what else is in the product, and it's crazy how some people don't try to just blame what their choice was first, oh, something else is wrong. Let me take my tonsils out, so... So that was the thing, is that a lot of people now are just taking, parts of their body out without kind of really taking an honest look at their life and their choices and why their body might be malfunctioning. And I feel that I am very sympathetic and compassionate because I have had made choices in my life that led to me having to take a real hard look at something that my body was doing and say, wait, if I continue with this choice, my body will start breaking in a certain area. And I know that I was blessed from a very young age with an awareness of nutrition in my body, that some, like Matt can tell you everything and anything to do with computers. I have no clue. And even when he explains it to me, my eyes like just gloss over. I'm like, okay, just do it. Okay. And that's the same thing. I don't expect everyone to be a pro on their health, but you really can't blindly take advice from me or anyone else. You have to, we all know what choices we're making, and we all know better than anyone how our body feels. So if you're waking up every morning and you feel teary-eyed, or you feel sluggish, or your stomach is cramping, or when you put your feet on the floor they're tingly and you're not getting circulation, there is the body saying, hey, good morning, I have this stuff going on, let's not make the same choices today, or else this stuff is going to progressively get worse. There is a lot of people that will say to me, this just happened, and that's really not true. The body warns us with everything. Even with cancer, we get warnings, but we just kind of camouflage them all the time with aspirins and Tylenol and NyQuils and Benadryls and all these things. But all those things just basically put a little bit of a curtain over the problem so you can't see it as clearly, and then you wonder why you get some really bad news one day. Okay, now I'm starting to get a little morbid. I think we need to take a break. I'm going to listen to some happy music and get back to the positive.
All right. You're listening to Joanne's World of Nutrition, brought to you by Nutrition World. US 1, between Orange Avenue and Avenue A, directly across from City Hall in the historic Arcade Building. Welcome back to Joanne's World of Nutrition with Joanne Seeger.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for listening today. I really appreciate all the time that you're spending with me. And today we're kind of having just a random conversation about, I guess, some of my pet peeves, but just to know, right now the social media campaigns are so clever on how they're marketing everything. Like I saw this gadget, how to hold your iPhone in your car and charge it at the same time. And, there's things that they really know. They market the audience, so they know what you're looking for, they know why you're looking for it, and they know what they should try to sell you, even down to the color. Like I just got a new car. It's in the parking lot now, and I'm not.
You love it.
I do love it, and it's weird because I was in a truck, and so now I kind of feel like I'm crawling on the highways again. But the point is, as soon as I search for something or mention about a new vehicle, bam! Now all of my social media feed is about cars, and it's a little crazy. But they really do know how to trick your sensory and your mind to really fall for things. So we need to really educate ourselves and be aware of everything that we're seeing, because it happens fast where we get manipulated into these little headlines. So the CBD oil is definitely catching so many people's attention because it is phenomenal. It is helping so many people. I sell 2 brands, and the owner of one of my brands is amazing. He actually donates bottles to the Children's Hospital in Miami for children that have leukemia, and it's miraculous what's happening. And if you understand that inflammation is the root cause of all illness, well, you know what? Let me clarify that. It has been proven time and time again that our mind, or you can say our thought patterns, is the root cause. So for many years we were all like, oh, well, it's my genes, my dad had it, my uncle had it, my mother had it, my sister had it. But unfortunately now we have to take the responsibility, because other than 2% of illnesses, it starts, as they say, as a thought pattern, which I really think that's just a fancy way of our choices. So our choices make our bodies fall apart. But the great news is our bodies are miraculous, and they can be put back together with the right choices. So inflammation is one of the side effects of bad choices, and CBD is a really, really strong anti-inflammatory. So that's why it makes you feel so good. And it's super cool because a little bit elevates and helps us get a little bit of energy and like really high focus and attention. But if we take a little bit more intentionally, we have deep relaxation and possibly sleep if we're taking it for insomnia. So I get asked all the time, Joanne, I'm so confused. I don't know what strength to buy, and I don't know how much to take. And Jennifer and I at the store get asked this question all day long. Now, I really wish there was a clear-cut answer, and some people almost think that we're being rude when we say we don't know. The reason why is no one knows your dose, because it's such a fine line between those two sensations. So, for instance, if you're a type A personality, you're suffering from nervous tension, seizures, you have a history of a lot of different medications, you're hyped up because you're doing a lot of caffeine or energy drinks or sugar, you're going to take a lot higher dose than the person that comes in that's 74 that has arthritis pain. They have an extra 50 pounds on them, and they have a very sluggish day of sitting on their couch or running a couple errands. So every human being is different, and their needs are different. And most milligrams represent the container that the CBD oil is in. So if that oil is mixed with filler oils or flavorings or other things, it can still say that based on weight, but it's not true milligrams, another deceiving thing that's going on in the marketplace. So we carry a range of 300 milligrams to 3,000. About $40 to about $310. Huge differences. You will not go wrong with any bottle you buy, but keep in mind the stronger the dose that you take per drop, the less you have to do underneath your tongue, so less material under the tongue. So sometimes it comes down to how much are you willing to spend at one moment, and how much are you willing to put under your tongue. Unfortunately, there's some people that suffer with arthritis or epilepsy or seizures or Parkinson's so badly that to actually count drops going in their tongue, if they don't have a caretaker, is a challenge. So if you buy the stronger ones, it's just a few drops compared to maybe 15 drops. So we work with each person to try to guide you. So please don't expect anyone that you work with, your health food store or the people that you know and trust on the CBD market, to give you a clear-cut answer. It's impossible to know everyone's dose. So for instance, we will generalize and say, all right, do 5 drops to 15 drops a day. That's a total generalized dose. Most bottles are 30 milliliters. At 15 drops a day, you're getting about a month's worth. That's the only reason that number came out with people. So that way they can say their bottle is either a 1-month supply, a 2-month supply, or 3-month supply, depending if you're doing 5, 10, or 15 drops. But so what's important again is the quality, and you start, and if you're not getting the relief you need, you take more. You take more, and it's definitely worth the money. I don't care what anyone says, but medicine is not cheap. Even with the best insurance, you're still paying huge high insurance amounts, and even co-pays are a lot more than CBD oil. So definitely check that out. The other thing that I want to mention, I was going over with 3 really wonderful ladies yesterday from Pennsylvania. They're here visiting Hudson Island, which is real close to my store, and they were having a wonderful time, but they all are having inflammatory, some worse conditions than others. Like everyone, it seems, is suffering from really bad acid reflux these days, or GERD, indigestion, anxiety. It's just really epidemic. And I was talking to them about the alkaline diet. And there's still some confusion to the alkaline diet. So I really plead with you. It takes 5 seconds on your phone or computer. Pull up a free alkaline chart. There's a million of them online. They're all free. You can print it or just save it on your phone, and it tells you what foods are alkalizing. Most of the companies that offer the free charts will give you a grid. The most alkalizing to the most acidic, and they'll break it down into columns like, okay, these are really good for you, very alkalizing, these are moderately alkalizing, and then it goes down to extremely acidic. So for instance, stress and sugar are the most acidic things, but on that last column, there's the word vinegar. Now, this is where some confusion is. If you look on your Facebook feed or all over the internet, or probably in your pantry if you listen to any of my shows, you'll have raw apple cider vinegar, which is normally known by the brand Bragg's. Bragg's Raw Organic Apple Cider Vinegar. That's not the vinegar that they're referring to on most of these charts. The difference is if you're buying raw, unfiltered, organic vinegar, it's really dark in color. It has sediment on the bottom. The sediment is called the mother. The mother is where all the good bacteria is. It's a food. So where straight vinegar can be used to clean grease and your flooring, this is completely different. This is really, really beneficial for you. I don't know where to start because there's hundreds of uses for it, but you can use it in salad dressing. You can dilute it in water. You can make a face mask out of it. Real, raw, organic, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, which my favorite brand is Bragg's. There's only, I think, one that competes with him.
You don't want to do
phenomenal.
what I did, though.
What did you do? And just to Cliff,
you've
just keep in mind with my prescription glasses, I can't even see where your hand is.
Okay, I wrote a little note to you. Join Alkalizers Anonymous.
Oh, I love it. I love that. Has a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
I really like that.
But alkalizing, what have you said before? I remember you said disease cannot live in an alkalized body.
I love that you're taking note of these things. Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't just a note. That stayed in my
acid
brain.
creates disease, okay? And
disease.
Alkalinity, disease cannot live in. But see, so I say that there's no coincidence that truly in nature there's only one category of food that's alkaline, which is vegetables. So it's really, people are like, well, I'm not just going to eat vegetables. Well, there's a moderation. So the grid basically says if you're trying to heal from a serious illness like stage 4 cancer, like something real serious, you do 90% of your day on the alkaline side, and you do 10 from the acidic side, and then you have all the healing alkalinity you need so you do not get any more degenerative diseases, and you also start unraveling what the body has been going through.
Is there an alkaline supplement?
There are. There actually, my favorite one is called Buffer pH. It's been around forever. I think 35 years or more. It actually got sold to a huge company that I love. It's called Nutraceutical. They own all the finest of the finest supplements, and they now own Buffer pH. They paid for that company, so it was really only for Buffer pH, but they made other items for, I think it was like millions. But Buffer pH, phenomenal. Not only does it neutralize acid, but it stops the creation of the acid.
Wow.
And do you know one of the components of it, because it's homeopathic, is your emotional status, because a lot of times when you're fretful, stressed out, fearful, all those things, you create acid in your body. I always use that example of getting that really bad phone call that made you shake and made you upset, and the first thing is like you felt like you had to go to the bathroom because your stomach is winding up. That's acid. And so it starts in your mind. So if when you're having that confrontation with a loved one or a coworker or your boss or whoever it is that you normally your body temperature goes up, or you feel like a nervous condition is about to occur, quiet your mind, listen to classical music, do some deep breathing exercise. If you let that moment get a grip of you, then your health will decline. And once you start that acid erosion in your body, it takes so much time to get it back to homeostasis. So if you can get steps put into your life to control it before it affects you, you're much better off. And apple cider vinegar is a phenomenal food and tool that's neutral as long as it's used properly.
Right. Use the proper use. You see the keyword apple cider. I didn't see the vinegar part. I saw the apple cider part.
Oh, gosh.
And you can guess what happened.
Oh,
I love
Lord.
apple cider, and I
So
don't know
you
why.
like poured a juice glass full of it?
Well, yeah.
Well, and I'm going to lecture you off air about drinking juice to begin with, but we'll do that later.
Well, okay. And, anticipating apple cider, it was apple cider vinegar. And
yeah, because now they're selling the apple cider vinegar. Looks like it's an apple juice container.
It
It's
sure
not a
does.
little supplement bottle.
It
It's
looks-
huge.
Yeah.
Yes, I have friends that have brought that over to my house during the holidays thinking it was pure apple cider. And I'm like, I didn't know you drank apple cider vinegar. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, this whole big, but it was filtered. But it didn't look like it was totally filtered because it had some darkness from the cider.
Okay.
But again, it wasn't the mother. So that's another trick they're doing. They're calling it in these big jugs apple cider vinegar, but it's the cider pulp that makes it look dark and murky, like the healthy stuff, but it's not. So I wish I could go to every manufacturer and say, why are you ripping off people and destroying their health? I wish I could for everybody. But, there wouldn't be enough time or hours or money in the world.
Okay.
But just try to use as much common sense, read ingredients, and really just go. Now we have the internet, so instead of making it think we're going to die by going on WebMD and really filling our minds with more fear and grossness, just Google one ingredient at a time and learn about that ingredient. Instead of people's opinions about the whole food, just Google each ingredient, find out really what's its chemical structure, what is its main uses, and then decide for yourself, where's your toxic burden in your day? Are you drinking water? Are you getting rest? Are you eating vegetables? Just start with the basics. Don't overwhelm yourself. And I hope everyone takes advantage of my Valentine's special for the Ion Foot Detox or the infrared sauna. Great way to detox. Feel phenomenal right away after just one service. Buy one, get one free.
Okay. And you might have organic apple cider just in case, right?
Not apple cider vinegar. Always. Thank you so much, everyone. Have an awesome week.
You've been listening to Joanne's World of Nutrition, brought to you by Nutrition World, US 1 between Orange Avenue and Avenue A, directly across from City Hall in the historic Arcade Building. Be sure to stop by Joanne's Nutrition World today. Tune in each and every Thursday morning at the 10 o'clock hour. Archives of the show can be found on YouTube by going to WPSL TV. In fact, WPSLTV.com. This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.